Hey everybody, it's Alexis with Create Your Future. Happy Monday. And before I get started, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. Please hit the bell icon in the box below and you get notified every time that we post new videos. So you guys, I am back to coaching. I am back to doing my videos that air on Monday mornings. And I wish you all to have a beautiful week. And it is my honor to have you here at the start of the week with just some tips about manifesting today. I've got a pretty good, a juicy success story from a client of mine who manifested change in her SP through focusing on new thoughts and got onto a new mental diet, and then he changed, which is pretty cool. All right, so this is my second video since I've come back from my leave. I was on leave for 3 months, in case you haven't seen my other videos, but I am back to coaching. The link for booking one-on-one coaching is in the box below, and I still have my courses and all of the offerings available, hypnosis audios and whatnot. So I will say that this client did a combination of, she took my Manifest Marriage course, and then she also did one-on-one coaching with me, and we created a mental diet for her. And I got this success story when I was on my leave, and she really changed her SP, who at the time was her husband. Okay, so she by the time she started coaching, her husband was telling her things like, I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't want to be in this relationship. The marriage isn't what I thought that it was going to be. I've lost interest in you. I want to move out. What else did he say? I think we're not right for each other. So, right, stereotypical things that you hear of someone that's not interested in the relationship and that has decided that you're no longer this person. Okay, so like most of us could understand, by the time she came to coaching, she was upset. She was spending a lot of her time focusing on what she didn't want. She didn't know how to get out of it. And this could be true about any situation. So maybe your SP isn't someone you're married to, right? But maybe your SP is a boyfriend, is a girlfriend, is an ex-boyfriend, is an ex-girlfriend, something, who knows? So these principles and what I guided her to do apply to you too. Okay, so let me just read the success story. I'm still getting used to doing my videos after being gone. So I intend that I get with it here. All right. All right, dear Alexis, thank you so much for all of your help and your one-on-one guidance through coaching, which helped me to manifest the change in my specific person. He has gone from being elusive, not wanting a relationship, even I think he wanted to see other people, to being fully committed to me, adoring me, loving me, and really being at my beck and call. I can't thank you enough, and I can't wait to share more with you when you come back from your leave. XOXOXO, and then she put a bunch of emojis. All right, so you guys, question is, right, how did she do this? How do we do this with anybody and anything, right? I've got some props that I'm going to use today. Anybody remember these guys? It's been so long since I've used them, right? But how do we do that? It's a really interesting thing. How do we change the people or the SP who is outside of you, that is acting one way, saying one thing, to acting a different way, saying a different thing, right? Well, the answer is that you have to change yourself. The answer is that, remember, your reality comes from you. Your reality is a holographic expression outside of you of that which you're holding within you. Now, this client, like I said, she took the Manifest Marriage course that I put out. That's my favorite course that I've ever done, because I talk about consciousness, things that I can't go into a video here, of just a different perspective on how to embody the living in the end from within. Okay, but remember, we want to be living from the end, living within, and also watching your thoughts, because the people outside of you, I used these in my last video, the people outside of you are just showing up thinking the thoughts that you think that they're thinking. The people outside of you are just thinking what you think they're thinking, meaning the thoughts that you think about yourself, right? Baseline, your self-concept, who you decide you are, what your assumption of yourself is, duplicates onto the people outside of you. Let's go to these guys, right? Let's imagine that in one reality, like that client, or for you, if you're watching this video and you're manifesting for an SP, that you have a reality, right? Where things don't work out for you. You are constantly trying to make it happen, wanting to make it happen. Things are difficult. We're living in lack, right? I always pick the blue one because it's one of my favorite colors. That there's also a reality that you can step into where things are footloose, fancy free. You're having a good time. Things work out for you. Your SP loves you. You love your SP. And that all you got to do to go from this reality to this reality is think a lot of thoughts, which are your intentions, which is your mental diet on purpose to create that which you want. Now, let's go into the mental diet just for a second, right? What is our mental diet? What is the correct mental diet versus the incorrect mental diet? And then how do we think thoughts on purpose to get something to happen? Okay. Because I've gotten asked that a lot through one-on-one clients is, how do I do this? Give me a formula. Tell me what to do. How do I make this happen? Now, I will say that there isn't one formula that works for everybody. There isn't one way to do a mental diet, just how there isn't one way to do a food diet, right? And I don't know if everyone out there is aware of this, but I did work in the field of fitness for 10 years. That was my first career, my first profession. I owned a fitness studio. I was a trainer of trainers, did the whole thing, okay? And even in that level, there isn't one exercise plan, there isn't one diet plan that works for everybody. And I began to identify with that so much that it got me out of the field, right? Because in any event, it just was my time to do something else and to do this. Okay. So manifesting is the same. There is not one way to do it. There isn't a cookie cutter method that you can apply for you that works for Tom, Dick, or Harry, or Joan, June, and Sally. Okay. Because each of us are different. We're each a unique snowflake. But what you can do is understand the basics. There is the reality of lack. There is the reality of abundance, right? Now, your mental diet is, though, the thoughts that you're thinking all the time. It isn't just a couple affirmations that you're thinking on a whim. It is the thoughts that you're thinking when you're driving in your car on the way to the grocery store. It's the thoughts that you're thinking while you're washing your hair in the morning in the shower. It's the thoughts that you're thinking while you're taking care of your kids or while you're spending time with your family or you're thinking about your SP. Okay. So it isn't just like a couple thoughts or a couple of intentions are going to get you long-lasting change with your specific person. It's actually the opposite. It is the thoughts that we think repetitively on a repetitive basis create a baseline overriding assumption about people, places, and things, life and living, and people around us, right? That pushes that out into reality. So if you're looking for a quick fix or you're looking to manifest something in 24 hours, I candidly have not really ever been a proponent of that because for most people, especially if you're dealing in relationships or you've had patterns of things, we have to create new thoughts on purpose, really create a new state within to have it embody and push out outside of you. And remember, when you're in the needing, the wanting has to happen right now, the lack of it, Alexis, it hasn't yet happened. Why hasn't it happened? What do I do to make it happen? You're in the lack of it. Right? You're not in the place of having it. Remember that all of this, the quantum reality, in the last video, I talked about quantum weirdness and what happened with my blender. In any event, none of that really matters if you're not understanding that what you embody within pushes out outside of you. Okay. So there's different ways to approach manifesting. There's different ways to approach consciously creating that which you want. But just like this client did, if you understand that your thoughts are things your thoughts create, and your thoughts create the people outside of you, then why would you think thoughts that are negative? You would turn them around, such as SP doesn't call me, SP doesn't love me, SP has forgotten about me, right? You wouldn't spend time there thinking that. In that very moment, you guys, the mental diet is so important because you would turn that around and say, SP loves me, SP is in love with me, SP is constantly calling me, SP thinks I'm the best thing, SP thinks that I'm the cat's meow because I'm the cutest kitten, okay? That comes from a client of mine. If you are watching that, then you know who I'm talking about, being the cutest kitten on the market, okay? So you guys, what is the point of all of this and what are we really doing here? You are just focusing on what are the thoughts that I'm thinking within that create the people outside of me, right? Changing the thoughts that you think within so that the people outside of you are assigned to different thoughts, right? And this is what that client did. She changed the thoughts that her SP was thinking on purpose over and over again. And the more that she thought it, the easier it became, funnily enough, because that's how it's supposed to be. Remember, the process of manifesting was not created by our creator to be difficult, to be arduous, to be so hard, to create so many problems, and to make life more difficult, right? We are just now giving you the tools so that you understand how you are the epicenter of your reality, how you create your experience, and that which you have within you creates life outside of you, right? So the mental diet, I've gone into that today, is the thoughts that you're always thinking, is the thoughts that you're always deciding, right? Remember that you are the beautiful epicenter of everything. And the more attention that you give to yourself, thinking thoughts on purpose about your desirability, your awesomeness, your wonderfulness, your amazingness, your fabulousness, the easier it is for you to create thoughts that everyone thinks those things about you too. So the mental diet, the thoughts you think about yourself and the thoughts that others think about you always go hand in hand, right? So just like this client, you can be a success story where you change the thoughts that you think someone else is thinking, and then they say them to you. It's uncanny still that the people in my reality are thinking what I'm thinking, and that I'm always seeing evidence of it. And now I've done this with so many people. I know that it's the way that it works. I know that everyone is being pushed out. I know that with what I hold within, what I decide within is what comes out outside of me. So it's always our answer to come back to. Remember, you could go from this reality, the reality of lack, the reality of wanting, the reality of needing, to the reality of love, of desire, of commitment, and of having everything that you want right at your fingertip. Now, I want to say too that you can do these things without lifting a finger. Remember that the thoughts that you're thinking are not about manipulating people into being who you want them to be. They're not about talking people into being who you want them to be. They're about being the person that is who you want to be and having the reactions, from people that you want within you, not doing things outside of you and telling people how to be, or else really, like, what's the point of manifesting, right? You might as well just decide that you're going to tell everybody who they're going to be, try to control everybody and everything, and do it that way. This is a different process. It's asking you to be the person within that has it, be the person within that is choosing in your higher self, your consciousness, to be the person that you want to be, and then have it duplicated outside of you, along with all the people in your reality. Okay, so that is my video for today. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please let me know in the comments below, and let us know in the comments below, what do you have going on? What's going on? Are you trying to change somebody that you're in a relationship with from within? Are you hoping to experience a new version of somebody that's in your reality, right? Are you in the middle of manifesting? What's going on? I would love to hear, and I do check the comments once the video comes out, right, and try to get back to everybody. So I wish you a beautiful day. The link for one-on-one coaching with me is in the box below, as well as the link to all of my courses and offerings. And remember, we're having a contest, so every time that you like the video, comment on it, and you're interacting with our videos, you could win a free coaching session, which is pretty cool. All right, you guys, have a beautiful week. Make today awesome, and go out and decide from within with your thoughts that today is a beautiful day. And I will see you next week in my next video. Bye.